let's get to the money. Let's get to the money. All right, so here I am. I'm a hustler. Here I am, this $8.3 million cat. Here I am now making $6. Here I am now making $15. But I'm like, yo, I can't keep trading time for money. I'm only making $15 an hour. So there's not enough hours in a day in order for me to live the way I want to live.
In the back of your mind, your dreams should be real, right?
Thanks all for tuning in to Dreamcatchers, where we make things happen. Dreamcatchers was formally launched to unlock the hidden potential in successful, self-motivated individuals who desire to take their life's work to the next level but need support to evolve. We are a collective group of professionals with various backgrounds that use our talents to assist those individuals in realizing their wildest dreams by providing education, inspiration, and direction. This podcast is where we share the lessons we've learned along the way to catching our dreams and give you some context around the how and the why to each approach to put you further ahead on the journey to catching your dream. Are you ready?
Man, what's good, bro?
You already know it.
Hey.
Everything is great.
Man, that's the first in-person one.
Hey, this is what it is. You know what I mean? The last should be first and the first shall be last.
Ooh.
We're going to make it the best.
You going to start talking that talk already.
Already, man. That's all I know how to talk.
So, you know, what's up, everybody? It's your host, Jerome, as usual.
Thank you
got
for
my
having
brother.
me.
Got my brother Lynch home with me today.
Let's go.
Man, so Coach Lynch, I ain't going to steal all the thunder.
Yeah.
Break it down for the viewers.
All right. Well, you know, they call me Coach Lynch, but I wasn't always the coach.
Yeah.
So, you know a little bit about the backstory, but let me catch them up real quick. So, I'm here in North Carolina. I got this gym thing going on, but it's not a gym. You know, people think I'm a trainer, but I'm not a trainer. You know what I mean? I'm just a hustler, just so happen to know how to train. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I went on this journey, man. Before I was a trainer, man, I did 10 years in federal prison.
Come on.
And before my 10 years in federal prison, I spent, you know, over 10 years in the streets getting money. And, you know, before that, I was just a regular kid, just like everybody else, aspiring to be, you know, a football player, a basketball player, you know, just like everybody else, man. And, you know, one wrong decision or two or three or a couple bad habits, then you find yourself, you know, spiraling downward until you become somebody that you never thought you would be. So I became the best of the bad guys, man. I was the leader of an $8.3 million drug ring. But that happened way after a bunch of bad habits.
So talk to me about that.
Okay.
I mean, did you not have access to money? I mean,
okay.
I know you were playing a little bit of sports, so it's not like you didn't have anything to do with your time. How do you go down that path?
All right, so I grew up on the block. Like where I lived at literally was the block that everybody came to get their packs off, to sell drugs, to hang out all day. And it was right in front of my house. Like my house was a spot where it was the open air free market for, you know, back in the 80s and 90s, it was just like people just congregated on the corner, like, you know what I'm saying?
This is in Maryland.
No, this is in Jersey. I'm from Jersey. Yeah. I'm from Jersey. Yes, sir. Yeah, and man, I managed to escape that my whole entire, you know, high school, you know, just like my whole entire high school career. I managed to, you know, not get involved in anything negative until, you know, I finally left school. So I went to college to play football and basketball.
Okay.
And I got there, and let me back up a little bit.
This is exclusive, guys.
Right,
Nobody has
before
this
that.
part.
Nobody has this part. So, all right, let me back up. When I was younger, I got a brother. We're 18 months apart. My brother's serving time right now. My brother's going 15 years for aggravated assault, attempted murder. But he only got a few more years left. He got about maybe three or four more years left. But we were competitive in everything, and we were kind of like twins. We're only like 2 years apart in school, 18 months apart in age, so we did everything together. We used to ask our mom for like 10 more minutes of sleep every day. And like one day I would ask her, Mom, can we get 10 more minutes of sleep? We're tired, we practiced, we played all day, stuff like that. And she would give us 10 more minutes of sleep. The next day, I would encourage my brother, you ask her for 10 more minutes this time, because I just asked her for 10 minutes, And that would go on and on and on, all the way until we left the house. But little did we know we were developing, habits that we would, basically a snooze button habit that we would take with us for the rest of our lives. But we were depending on our mom to wake us up. So when I went off to college, Mom was no longer there.
Right.
Now, this habit was still there, but no one was there to wake me up. So I started to come late for class because I would wake up late to get to class. Then I started going late too many classes, started to fall behind on my work. I started to miss class and drop class. I dropped classes because I didn't want my grades to reflect F's and D's and things like that. So I told myself I was being slick by dropping all these classes, and then all of a sudden I wasn't a full-time student anymore.
So you weren't eligible.
I wasn't eligible to play or eligible to stay.
Yeah.
So I was denied housing, scholarship was gone, I was kicked out of school, and guess where I had to go? Back to that same crib that was on the block around the way where everybody was doing what they did every day.
And that's why they call it a trap.
That's why I went back to the trap and got trapped in the trap until I became, the guy that everybody had to come to for. So I worked my way up. So from 17 years old to 27 years old, I literally worked my way through every stage of development. Before anything go into production, you got to go through every stage of development. So I was out there every day, all day till it's light gray outside. I'm talking about hand-to-hand combat. I'm talking about anything you could possibly think of. I was out there pulling all-nighters, 5 and 6 days straight, go home for 2 days to sleep and shower, change my clothes, and then go back out there for another 5 or 6 days. That's just how I did it. But that type of discipline came with me from when I played youth football, Pop Warner football, police athletic basketball, you know what I'm saying? So those things are in you, but where are you directing those energies to? You know what I'm saying?
Skills.
That's it, man. We talked about that too the other day, right?
Right.
Transferable skills. So here I am, rising up in the streets, man. I'm like doing my thing because I always had this mindset to my pop always told me, he said, how you do anything is how you do everything. So like if I do something, I'm going all the way 100 with it. Like you see it, like you see it. Like you come in the crib, you like, yo, y'all got a full studio in this joint. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm going all the way. Right. So like if however I do something is how I'm gonna do everything. And if I do one thing hard, everything going down hard, man.
So your pops was around, or were you?
My pops was around up until I was about 6 or 7 years old.
Okay.
Him and my mom split, and then from there it was just my mom raising me, my brother, and my sister. My sister is older. God rest her soul. She's going on. She passed away of cancer. My brother's doing 15 joints. I'm the only one left holding it down right now. You know what I mean? Wow. And I just came over from a 10-year bid. You know what I mean? So we gave my mom hell, man.
Yeah, but she still smile when she get that call.
Oh yeah, definitely she get that call now because it's like, Mom, I'm on TV again. It's like, Mom, I'm coming out with another book. Mom, I'm opening up another job. Yeah, it's all good now. You know what I mean?
Wow. So you're just working your business, right? Because I mean, it is a business, right?
Definitely.
If you're doing it at that level.
So I ran my business as a Fortune 500 company. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And that's why the federal government had to come in and put a stop to what we was doing. The headline said that I was the leader of an $8.3 million drug ring, and honestly they probably lowballed because I'm seriously I could show you pictures of watches, maybe 7 watches, $25,000 a piece. I had a different watch for every day of the week. I had a different fur for every day of the week. I bought people's cars, houses, anything that you could think of. Like I really financed the whole operation. So
you start seeing and touching that kind of money, you realize it's much like being a pro athlete, right? Yeah. Like there's nothing else I can do that's going to bring this type of lifestyle or living. And, there isn't a whole lot of value in having to look over your shoulder and worry about all the things you're going to have to do. Mm-hmm. But that aside, like having that kind of cash at your disposal is difficult. So, you get caught, you go spend some time in a prison, and, we had this conversation about everybody's in a prison, right?
Yeah.
And it's just a matter of whether you're aware of it or not.
Yes.
And so, I really like to go down that path a little bit if I can.
Well, a shackle, the definition of a shackle is anything that restricts your movement. So if you just take the definition, I play with words a lot. So if you just look at the definition of that word, we all have shackles. Anything that restricts your movement is a shackle. That means we're in prison somewhere in our life. Like, we just don't know it until somebody or something comes and flips on the switch. So for me, the handcuffs were the thing that actually flipped the switch on, because the moment they put the handcuffs on my wrist and my ankles, they came off my mind. So I had to realize that, I gotta get out of here, but I can't go nowhere, for the next 10 years. So that's when I took all the shackles came off here, and I began to become free, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, socially. I just rid myself of all the things that actually got me to that point in shackles. There's a guy named Box Brown from Virginia back in the day. So he mailed himself to freedom. So he was a slave, right? And he put himself in a box, right?
Come on.
Mailed himself to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania to freedom. So just think about how I said when the shackles went on my wrist and my ankles, they came off my mind. See, he went into a box to get out of the box. You understand what I'm saying? So sometimes you got to go in your box to get out your box. But that comes from a level of consciousness. And a lot of us, we just ain't conscious, because what Harriet Tubman say, I freed 1,000 slaves. I could have freed 1,000 more if they knew they were slaves. Sometimes we just ain't conscious.
So, all right. So, Kanye got a ton of flack for talking about slavery and freedom and it being a choice and all that stuff. So for the listener out there, the viewer out there, they're saying, what is he talking about? I'm free. I'm free. What is he talking about?
Listen, a lot of y'all dealing with recidivism right now. So for an average inmate, the recidivism rate is 75%. Like 3 out of every 4 inmates are going to go back to jail within a year.
Right.
You hear what I said? Because what they're going to do is they're going to repeat offend. All right, so listen, I'm talking to everybody out there. All you repeat offenders, how you go on a diet and you get in shape and then you go back fatter than you was prior before that. All right, how about some of y'all that be in these relationships, right? And then you go back to the one that just did you dirty. I'm talking about 3 out of 4 of y'all, right? Gonna go back to, right? Want that whole thing back, you know what I'm talking about? Like, absolutely. Now we can go on and on and on. Like, how many people are gonna say, you know what? I'm gonna save my money and I'm gonna buy me a new house. I'm gonna get my credit right, but yet the end of the month, you back swiping and you know what I'm saying, splurging again. You back in the store buying a new bag or a new, you know what I mean, some new kicks again. So I'm conscious of it. So when you get woke, you got to stay woke. So it's in all areas of your life. I'm telling you, man. Like, I can break it down 1,000,000 times, and that's what I do, dog.
So now people are sitting back and they're like, whoa, wait.
Yeah, Doritos. They're like, dang.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you. And so, and we just chopped it up one day I was walking, you were doing your workout thing. I was like, man, I need to meet this brother. And so, we go through it. I'm like, what can I do for you, right? Yeah. And then you tell me, well, I'm working on this thing.
Word.
And then when I showed up, you was like, wait, you're really here.
Yeah, no doubt.
And so, a lot of people, I guess they don't really understand, like, your word is your bond.
Yeah,
right?
word is bond, yeah.
It's gotta be, right? Mm-hmm. And so you didn't build your business off of your first business. We're gonna talk about your second business in a second. Yeah. You didn't build your first business off of being not real, right? Just goofing off and saying whatever and being any kind of person and doing things any kind of way. Yeah. And you couldn't work with people that operated that way.
That's right.
And so, and then when you moved into the new space, right, being locked up, I imagine that respect was probably one of the core things, and you had to do things the right way, right?
Yeah, definitely. So all you got is your word, man. And when you're dealing in the streets, there's no contract. There's no sign on a dotted line that I'm gonna hold you accountable to this. Is whatever you say, we're gonna take that on face value until your face ain't nothing no more. You know what I'm saying? See, my face clean all across the land. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna let nobody dirty my face up but me. So if people get around me and they not acting accordingly with integrity, you know what I'm saying, with responsibility, with duty and obligation, then I can't deal with them, because we all attached. Yeah. We all flying one flag. Yeah, you understand what I'm saying? So when people see me, they gonna see you. If they see you, they gonna see me. And if you ain't 100, then you know what I mean. You got the circle gonna get smaller.
You can't be around, right?
You can't.
I've seen that over and over and over again where people say, hey, I'm going to do this for you.
Yeah.
And then they don't follow through. Right. And it's like, but I'm counting on you to follow through.
Right.
And you X the people out, and then they're confused about why.
Right. Yeah.
You're not moving with them. You're not answering.
Well, they say they're not conscious. Remember, I said I deal with words a lot, so I take the word love, right? And like yo, you know, come through. You know what I mean? I'm expressing love. You know what I'm saying? But love, I take that word, right, and I put it to the side because it's a term that we throw around real loosely. But I replace that word with responsibility. So love, when you love something, you're responsible to it or for it. You understand what I'm saying? And when you love yourself, you're responsible to and for yourself and for your love. So all your actions should support the growth of whatever it is you're involved in. You understand what I'm saying? So when you're responsible for something, your actions, or when you love something, your actions will support the growth of that thing. So if it's a relationship, then you can't say I love you, but I slipped up. Your actions, look, you weren't being responsible because your ability to respond is a lot higher than what you portrayed or what you did.
You understand what I'm saying? You're being primal instead of living at that higher level.
There you go.
You just make sure this joins.
No doubt.
We getting all of this. Oh yeah, we getting all of that. That part out. All right. Man, I'm getting excited. This is getting good, guys. All right, so you talking about love, you talking about relationships,
responsibility, all that.
So, man, I just, all right, so you come out.
Yeah.
You got this huge business right now.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, it's kind of crazy. But you come out, and so what's the first place?
All right, so the first thing I got to do is I got to prove theories. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like this, for 10 years, all I'm doing is I'm stacking theories. You know what I'm saying? I have not had a chance to put this stuff into play except for on myself or dudes and cats around me. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm slowly proving theories in the jail, and I'm saying to myself, like, if I can get murderers, drug dealers, extortionists, if I can get all these to gang members, if I can get these type of cats to follow me with what I'm doing right here, then it's going to be nothing to get the squares on the street to follow me and understand what I'm saying. Because the amount of unlearn and relearning, the deprogramming and reprogramming that I have to do with somebody who's been killing, stealing, and drug dealing their whole entire life, and you understand what I'm saying? And gang banging, what I have to do to get that person to fly straight, it means like I can do anything with somebody who just graduated from North Carolina A&T State University. They already know how to study. They open to listening and learning and stuff like that. But another person's been running their own show for the last I don't know how many years. Like, it's tough to get somebody to say, you know what, I believe him, or you know what I mean, I'm gonna listen to him, or that sounds like it might work, or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
But you've been a leader since you were
no doubt.
Little,
yes,
right?
No doubt. Like I'm talking about wherever when it was time for us to ride our bikes, they was coming to my house and say, where we gonna ride our bikes at today? What game we gonna play today? I was captain of my football team, my basketball team, my baseball team, all the way through high school. So I was always the captain. I was always the one that said the pep rally speeches and all that different type of stuff. Man, I was voted the person that talked the least but said the most. I was voted the most athletic. I was voted the person that was most likely to succeed. You know what I'm saying? It's just like all those different things. But when I went down that wrong path, I let a lot of people down. So I felt as though I had to, you know what I mean, come back with a vengeance and really do my thing.
So you start proving theories.
I start proving theories.
And so what does that look like?
All right, so it looks like me getting a job in this field to show myself, first and foremost, that I can do this. That I don't, take a step backwards and go back to the life that I was living before. So if you got to think about it, man. So I came out and I got a job at LA Fitness in Mount Laurel, New Jersey, and I was getting paid $6 for 30 minutes a session.
What?
$6 for 30 minutes a session. So here I am, leader of an $8.3 million drug ring, right? Making $6 for 30 minutes. And I'm fresh home. Nobody knows this really, but it's just like, I have to stick with this, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going back for the long haul this time. 10 was that was my first time ever being in jail. So that was my first time ever staying 24 hours, and I went for 10 years. You understand what I'm saying? So if I go back, I'm 15, 20 easy. And I can't see that. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I went and I started to do the training thing, and the managers were amazed because I came home with like 5 certifications. So the cats that hired me didn't even have certifications. So I came in already on a whole nother level. Physique was right. It was just I already had just sales skills and things like that, because being in the streets, it's just a whole nother level of sales, and you gotta have instincts to know people's body language and stuff like that as soon as you meet them. So a lot of stuff people learn today, like with Brian Tracy and things like that, it's like, I've been doing that stuff like forever. You know what I mean? But anyway, I was so good at closing people that my managers put me in sales, and I started to bring like big checks home from the halfway house. I was in the halfway house 6 months, and they were taking more money off my check because I was making more money, and that's fine. I had to pay for the bed and all that different type of stuff. But the thing about that was one day, I would take the person through the training. I would sit them at a desk, I would talk to them, and I would sell them, this big boatload of training. And then I would put them with like a young college kid that couldn't train like I just trained the person to actually make the sale. So one day, this older white lady came to me and she said, "You showed me a Rolls Royce, but you sold me a Yugo."
Ouch.
Yo, listen, it was from that hurt me, because what did we just talk about? Integrity, right? My word. So from that day forward, I made my manager and them put me back into training. And everybody that I sold training to, I went and took all of them and put them on my books, and I started to train them. And I just took my books and I took my schedule, and I marked all the way out. I wouldn't even take a lunch. I was in the halfway house, and I would just go there in the morning, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, and I wouldn't leave till 6, 7 o'clock at night, and I would just train people all day long. I literally wasn't in the halfway house probably just to go to sleep and take a shower.
So, that sounds like the same grind from 5 days on, 2 days off.
Yeah, that's it. I really didn't have 2 days off, but I was able to go home on the weekend, like home confinement for the weekend. And I would literally go train people in the park while I was, home on the weekend. So the only thing I've done wrong since I've been home was I forwarded my calls from my cell phone from my house phone to my cell phone, so I could catch the call when the halfway house was calling my house and I was supposed to be home. That's the only thing that I've done wrong in my whole entire time since I've been home. Everything else, I'm square as the pool table, twice as green, man. I actually trained at Deshaun Jackson's football camp during the time that I was in my halfway house. So certain things, I was just like, this is going to help me build brand name and face recognition. I get a chance to work with an NFL player, and I'm only 3 months home and stuff like that. Like little things like that. I just was like, I'm going to take this shot and try it.
So how did you get through the background check at LA Fitness? Because I know they checked you.
LA Fitness, they the cats just hired me. So one of the managers knew like I was really big in the area. So when I came home, one of the managers was getting a haircut from one of my friends that held me down along the way. And he was like, "Yo, my man coming home, maybe you can hire him, give him a job," stuff like that. And dude used to gamble with my brother. So he knew me and stuff like that. So he was just like, "Yo, this guy's the truth. We're going to hire him. He ain't got to go through all that stuff."
Wow.
But when I came here, so I did 6 months in the halfway house there. I was in the halfway house in Philly. I'm from South Jersey. So South Jersey cats go to halfway house in Philly. And I did my 6 months there, but I got married while I was there and I moved here. So I had to move here and start all over again within that, 6 months time frame. Whatever I built during that time, I had to start all over when I came here. And I went and got a job at the Rush on Battleground up in Brassfield. And that was even strategic because the demographics mirrored Mount Laurel, New Jersey. So I had my wife, on the spot for me that I could be around the same type of demographics and geographical location where I could basically build that brand name and face recognition. And I did not check the box on that application. So I think that's either how I either got around that or they just said, "Don't worry about it. We're just gonna hire him anyway."
What's up, tribe? It's your host, Jerome. I just want to let you know that we put together a free 15-point checklist for exiting the matrix. Jump on over to dreamshouldbereal.com in order to pick your free copy up. Let's get back to the show.
You said you got married. You came down, you said 6 months. So
6 months in the halfway house.
how you get married so quick, bro?
All right, so like 3 months in the halfway house, me and my wife, we decided to get married. We decided to get married, and
you knew it from before, or like how did all this?
Yeah, so I knew my wife before I went to prison.
Okay.
And I knew my wife before she was in law enforcement. So
wait,
that was yeah. So it's ironic that we come from the same place, we're from the same hood and all that different type of stuff, but the career she chose and the career I chose at the time were totally opposites. But she didn't choose that career until after I was already in. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So we had a big gap in between us, corresponding and everything, because she couldn't talk to me, and stuff like that. And I would reach out from time to time. I never stopped trying to reach out and things like that, but I would just have to be on her time whenever that could be, whenever I could get something. And we connected, we had this bond, and now it was like, yo, I'm here, like, let's go. And we made it happen. We got married. I came down here and I had to rebuild all my brand name and face recognition. And, if it wasn't for, just some of the people that she knew that took a chance on me and believed, but I never told my story until like 2 years ago. Okay. So nobody in North Carolina knew that I had that background. Right. I was just out here with a guy that had this crazy grind and love for training, and people were just like, yo, the guy, he gets results and he's really passionate about what he does. He's knowledgeable, he has certifications, he's certified. So, I built that all over that. And then 2 years ago, I started to tell a story, that I was locked up, and it just took everything to a whole nother level.
Yeah, because the journey is amazing. And so
18 months. After 18 months, I left that place that was paying me. I was making about $15 an hour. The Rush Battleground, and within that 18 months, I was buying stuff for my garage, like you see in my gym now. I was buying stuff for my garage, and I converted my garage over into a gym at my house. And I was explaining to my wife. I said, right now we have square footage in our house that doesn't make us any money. All it does is make sure our cars don't get wet and snowed on. In the wintertime, we don't have to go outside cold and we can start them up, all that different type of stuff. But right now, that's not making us any money. How about, you let me, do this, that, and the third, and, I transitioned to start working from home. So I didn't really have any overhead, but the mortgage, and we were going to pay that anyway. So, I wound up taking a bunch of clients with me from the Rush and to spearhead the movement. And I was building up a boot camp along the way where every weekend I would do something at A.K.A. Middle School, and I would have 50, 60 people there on the weekend. And then it was an opportunity opened up where it was a building downtown, and I was like, all right, it's time to go. Let's leave. Let's jump.
So, all right, you still, you gotta be asking questions about the money. Like, at what point did you like, I can stay on the straight and narrow, I ain't never got to go back to what I was doing, like this can actually work for me?
Well, I had in my head, I was like, I gotta make $1,000 a week. I don't know where I came up with this number from, but I was like, if I can make $4,000 a month, then I could live the same type of lifestyle that I was living even when I was like damn a millionaire. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just told myself that, $4,000 a month, I don't got a lot of bills or nothing like that. Like, I'll be straight. You know what I'm saying? So really it was like, what can I do to make $50,000 a year? You know what I'm saying? And then I started to research the salaries on certified trainers and stuff like that. And the average salary was like $30,000 or something like that. So I knew I had to come out with 2 or 3 certifications to be able to put this together, that together, that together to make this kind of salary. So by the time that I put three certs together, I knew I'd be making, $75,000, $100,000 or something like that. And that's why I came out as a lifestyle coach, a weight management consultant, a group fitness trainer, a certified personal trainer, because I wanted the salaries for a certified personal trainer, a group fitness instructor, a life consultant. No, seriously. And that's why all those things are they're molded into, the brand AWOL now. It all comes with the life coaching. It comes with with the weight management. It comes with free diets. You know what I'm saying? All that different type of stuff. Like I'm a genius. I just look like this, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, man.
Judging a book by the cover, man.
Word.
So, all right. So, what you just said is my mind was made up before I got out.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
I was never going back, and it didn't matter how attractive it looked.
So let me tell you when I made my mind up.
Okay.
All right. So I wrote a letter to the judge and to the people who came to my sentencing, 18 months. And so I spent 18 months in the county jail. I got sentenced about 18 months into my stay. So 2003 to 2005, I was in the county jail waiting on sentencing. And I wrote a letter which accepted responsibility. And I told everybody how I was going to do my time and what I was going to do with my time. And when I got home, what I was going to do with that time. So basically what I did was prophesy in my own life. And I teach people how to basically, it's called future thinking, or you write a letter to your future self. And I teach people how to do that stuff in personal development right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's beautiful. So you put it out there. It was written.
Yep.
You ever go back and read it?
Yeah, I'm teaching from the curriculum right now. So right now we're doing a 90-day challenge, and I teach personal development skills during the 90-day fitness challenge. So they have to go through this curriculum, and they're running through the Prison of Prosperity curriculum right now. And in the week of self-love, we write the responsibility. Remember I told you love and responsibility? We write the letter. So I actually have to read the letter, and I have an audio book, so I actually had to read the letter, out loud. Then I have videos that I do to, just kind of like highlight certain things. So I always read the stuff, and I listen to my own stuff on iTunes every day and stuff like that. So, it's all good. Yeah. I'm always reminded.
Always reminded. And that's what keeps you focused on it. Like whether you're looking at your goals every day or just, thinking about your 10-year plan, your 5-year plan, whatever it is. If you keep that in front of you, you'll keep making worthy progress towards that. So you talked about the curriculum.
Yeah.
Prison to Prosperity is the book.
Prison to Prosperity is the book, yes. And it's not about me coming home being successful. It's about helping people get mentally free, emotionally free, just socially free, whatever it is that's holding them back. Helping people identify, where they have shackles at, where they have prisons at. It's the book is entirely about everyone else, because it's about me being Harriet Tubman, me getting to freedom, right? And then going back for everybody else, not being selfish. Like I'm here now, so I don't care what they do. It's about, what I want for myself, I want for my brothers and sisters. So I'm gonna go ahead and spread this love. I got a responsibility, a duty, an obligation to do what I was called to do. See, everybody else got a career, but I got a calling, you know what I'm saying? Because it's a purpose. And purpose is just me living by design and living by intentions. So my intention is to educate, motivate, and empower people to transform their mind and body so they can ultimately live the life of abundance. So I'm trying to get everybody to abundance, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to be the only one in the land of milk and honey. You know what I mean? Because then I'm going to get full and it's going to be gluttony over there. I need something to pass out. You know what I'm saying? Everybody need to eat. You know what I mean? Forget all that leaders eat last stuff. We all going to eat. We're going to eat together.
So, all right. AWOL.
AWOL.
What does AWOL stand for?
It stands for a way of life. Like how you do anything is how you do everything. This is my lifestyle. So if I start writing books, I'm going to do an AWOL. You understand what I'm saying? I'm going to make writing books a way of life. If I start doing motivational speaking, I'm gonna make motivational speaking gonna be my way of life. I'm gonna do it hard. Like, I went from right here doing stuff for free to making $5,000, $10,000 a speech and stuff like that. So like, whatever I do, I'm gonna rise to the top like the cream of the crop, man. It's just, I gotta do that. You know what I mean? I was just bred to do that.
When did you know that this stuff was gonna work? Because it was all theory, right? You talked about you had a proof concept.
Yeah. Well, for one, I lost 70 pounds in 6 months.
Huh?
So when I was getting money, you're getting girls. So when you got girls, you gotta go out to eat with girls. So I gotta go eat with this one, I gotta go eat with that one, and after I go take this one out to eat, I still gotta go home to my main girl. And she done cooked. So I gotta gain all this weight from 210 pounds coming out of college to, I went all the way up to like 295. Like vicious, like, you understand what I'm saying? So one day I said, this ain't me. This is not who I was meant to be. This is not how you remember me. And I lost 70 pounds in 6 months. And I fell in love with the process. And from there on, I said, you know what, I'm going to do this. I love this. Let me figure out more about this. I want more of this. You know what I'm saying? And I just started to learn more about it and to train more. And wherever I went, it was something that had to do with being healthy. And, I wouldn't book a hotel unless I had a gym, whatever it was. And then I got locked up. But I continued on my quest for knowledge the whole entire time. You know what I'm saying? And then I got certified.
70 pounds in 6 months.
Yeah.
Was it just a diet change?
Well, it was a little bit of everything, but I told myself, I said, you know what? There's other people out there. They're not alphas. They're not going to be able to just flip on a switch and lose 70 pounds in 6 months. They need motivation. They need education. They need the type of preparation. They need everything that you could possibly offer so you can help them get to where they're trying to go. And that's what I developed along the way. I developed my style of training while I was locked up. I developed everything that you could possibly think of. I would read every periodical. I read every book, every newspaper, anything that had to do with it, and I would take a little bit of this. I would see if it worked. If I worked, I'd add it to it. So I got a big ass pot of gumbo, dog, that I'd have cooked up, and it's called AWOL, and everybody come in and they get a piece of this, that, and the third. Shout out to Richard Simmons. Shout out to Billy Blanks. Shout out to everybody I done got something from, and now this shit worked, dog. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody that paid the way. I'm telling you, this stuff worked, man. Shout out to, what's the dude name? The T24. Shout out to him too, man. What's his name, man?
I don't know.
You know what I'm talking about, Sean T, man. Shout out to all them people, man. All of them. Shout out to all of them.
Man, they might be coming for a piece, but he gotta be careful.
Oh, no, I ain't worried about all that. All I'm saying is, listen, ain't nothing new under the sun.
That's real.
Right? So you got a podcast, this shit ain't new.
No,
Like, you know what I'm saying? Niggas been kicking it. We've been kicking it, we've been building.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Up top, that's what we do. We do science and math, like that's what we do. We've been building. So now, all we do is we take building to a whole nother level. We put the joints on, we got the logos on, there ain't nothing new. You know what I mean? You put your spin on it and it's yours. And that's what knowledge is about. You know what I mean? As soon as you get something, you give it out, you put your spin on it and it becomes yours. You understand what I'm saying? But we're not carbon copies. We're not copycats. We just taking information and we making it work the way we need to work, the way it's gonna resonate with us. See, a lot of people, like, they gonna catch this stuff from your platform, but when they said the same thing in church, ain't nobody catch it.
Right.
When they said the same thing in school, when your papa them or your mom and them gave it to you, they ain't catch it. But they gonna relate to you. You know what I'm saying?
Matters.
That's it. It matters.
Matters.
And the language matters.
It does.
You know what I'm saying? So I go into the same churches and they'll let me get the mic. They let me rock because sometimes they don't get it because he got a robe on. Sometimes they don't get it because, you know what I mean, he rocking with the collar and the suit on. And as soon as I come up there with my snapback and, you know what I mean, I start talking crazy and I got my guns out and I got my J's on and they like, yo, I felt that. Like, you was talking to me. I was like, yeah, so now, you know what I mean, you can come to church on Sunday or something. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I just know that life is about relations, dog. You know what I mean? If you can relate to it, then, you know what I mean, it can be a better connection. Yeah. And you called me on the phone, like, I was down here, but my phone was up there, so our connection was bad. Yeah. We can't do nothing without the connection. We got the same number. You dialed, you got through, but you couldn't hear me. You see what I'm saying? Ooh. So a lot of us, we black people talking to black people, we might have to be in the same area, we might live in the same area, we go to the same church, but there ain't no connection. We can't get through. But then they see my man Rome on the joint, and then they're like, yo, he just dropped that joint. The principle the same. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, that's it. Exactly. Look, the principles govern laws and laws govern the universe. Ain't nothing new under the sun. That's it. I understand the principle. I break the principle down, and now I got judges, I got the chief of police, I got lawyers, I got congressmen, I got senators, I got anybody you could possibly think of that rock with me. And they like, yo, you want to come talk at my company? You want to come speak to my staff and all that different things? Because I'm speaking principles. They know it's real. And then I make it work, and they're like, yo, just try it, just test it, just prove it. My man I didn't know who he was before, but who he is now, oh yeah, we give him a shot. You know what I'm saying?
Without question. So, you know, it's easy to be selfish, right?
No
it's
doubt.
easy to just worry about yourself. Mm-hmm. But, you know, you're spreading love.
No doubt.
You're being generous out here. Where does that come from? Has that always been who you were?
Yeah, I always, you know, it was just a simple fact that, you know, like, if I was doing something, I'm going to tell everybody about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it made me feel a certain way. Like, if I got a positive gain from it, if it increased my quality of life some type of way, I'm going to go tell the world, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's up to you if you receive it or not. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I would write a letter and the template would be almost the same as if I write this to 4 other girls while I was locked up. But my wife, the only one received it. And here I am now, and the other ones, I bet they were saying, damn, I wish I'd have wrote that nigga back. Huh? Right or wrong? What you think?
Everybody don't understand your situation. They don't understand your situation.
They don't have to. They gotta receive it. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta receive it. So look, everybody sit in the same church. We all sitting in the same church. He's spitting the same lesson. Everybody not gonna receive the word.
Real.
So the person that receive it and then go out and do something with that revelation I just gave them could actually give them a transformation.
It's all about application.
That's it. So you got information, which is the revelation. Then if whoever goes out and applies it, which is the application, is going to lead, and they got to do it over and over and over again, right? Will lead to the transformation. So if you don't receive it first, then there's no way you're going to go apply it because you ain't hear it. You ain't catch it.
Ooh. All right. Man.
Part 3.
Man, listen. Yeah. I knew it was going to be like this when I came through here. All right. So,
let's get to the money. Let's get to the money. All right, so here I am. I'm a hustler. Here I am, this $8.3 million cat. Here I am now making $6. Here I am now making $15. But I'm like, yo, I can't keep trading time for money. I'm only making $15 an hour. So there's not enough hours in a day in order for me to live the way I want to live. So I went from personal training to group fitness. The same amount of time that I'm spending to train, I could be training 100 people at that same amount of time. So I went to group fitness. I developed a model that could allow as many people as possible to fill that time and that space up, and for me to make the money, hand over fist. So I developed auto draft. I developed a price point that would work because I looked around the gym and I looked at a demographic that wasn't being served.
Okay.
So you asked me why I stayed, and God put me there so I could see what was not happening there.
Woo. You found a gap in the marketplace.
I found a huge gap.
Okay.
And there was no middle class, no black people, there was no low income, there was nobody like that training with trainers. It was only upper class people who had disposable income.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So I said, let me make a price point that everybody could. And then when I marketed it, it's just like, yo, here, this is a couple of Starbucks a day. This is a Chick-fil-A, meal. You miss one of these and you put that money in a cup. You can have your monthly, unlimited money to work with me and lose your weight and change your mindset and all that different type of stuff.
Yeah.
So, we wound up, getting 30 and 40 and 50 people in the class and 60 people. And then we got a gym and you had 100 members and 200 members and 300 members, all paying $125 a month. So, that's how we got to, to where we are now. It was having an insatiable appetite.
Ooh.
It means I'm never full. You understand what I'm saying? So like whenever I get a taste of something, I get a piece of something, I gotta get to the bottom of it. I gotta figure out, what makes this work like this? How can I make this work better? How can we get more from this? How can we be more efficient with this? And it keeps evolving and keeps evolving and keeps evolving because I'm disciplined and I'm consistent and I'm determined to transcend a situation or transform it.
So you dropped that D word.
What, discipline?
The D word. People don't like that word, man, because they don't associate it with freedom.
Right.
Talk to me about the relationship with discipline and freedom.
All right, so where there's no discipline, there will be no freedom.
Ever.
No, ever. So, they say where there's no vision, the people will perish. Well, they don't need vision. They say where people throw off constraints. Look, where people don't have any discipline, they will die.
Ooh.
You see what I'm saying? So discipline is about loving yourself. Discipline is about knowing where you're going. Discipline is about choosing the right thing despite of temptation. Discipline is about discipline is about me and you both not wanting to do the same thing, but knowing that successful people do it anyway, so I do it. You understand what I'm saying? Discipline is about choosing the thing that is not about instant gratification, but about long-term rewards. It's about return on investment.
Pass the day. So we live in a microwave society these days. there's the crock pot, there's the oven, but they only want to cook in the microwave.
Right.
Man. All that prepackaged stuff is probably bad for your health. That quick success,
No doubt.
short-term money. You're playing the long game.
Yeah.
You're doing more than you got intellectual property.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
You've decoupled your time from money by going to scale, and now you got the good fortune of going online. Right. And so that just brings you to this new place where it's like, all right, so what's next? What's next for Coach Lynch?
Man, so I need about at least 100 brick and mortar AWOLs. Like franchises joints, so that I could just have them all across the nation. Like, for one, I know I've created a model that's going to change the way that fitness is approached for many years to come. So, true transformation can't happen without a renewal of the mind. So you have gyms who actually market transformation without touching the people's mind. It's a facade. You literally can't do it. In the beginning was the word, and here this is in the book, this is the word that says you can't have a transformation without a renewal of the mind. So if you don't teach somebody how to renew their mind, they're always going to, recidivism. They're always going to go back. We came all the way back. That's what it's all about. It's about bringing it back so you can throw it back up in their face and they can understand that, he might got a point there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Make them think. And that's what leadership is about. Leadership is about perspective. Leadership is about making people think a little bit differently than what they was thinking before. And if they can see a different way, then, you got to see it before you see it, or you never see it. You know what I'm saying?
Guys, don't miss that.
Well,
it's got to happen in your mind
first
before it happens in the physical.
So if you see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hands. Right? If you see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hands. So we teach people how to develop the pictures, because the mind only works in pictures. All right, I'm gonna say that again. The mind only works in pictures. So what do? I teach people how to program the pictures in their mind. So as soon as you wake up, your mind is operating on 9.5 to 10.5 wave cycles per second. And that's the frequency that your brain is on to produce spontaneous mental imagery, to produce the picture. So when you first wake up, if you say the affirmations at that time, if you say the scripture at that time, if you say whatever it is that you look at your goals during that time, then you can put the picture into your subconscious mind. Subconscious mind is responsible for 95% of your reality.
That's right.
So whatever you have to do to get that in your subconscious mind, then I teach that to you. You understand what I'm saying? And then at the end of the 90 days, people have a whole new life because I understand personal development. Why? Because I had to develop as a person when I was in the darkness. You know what I mean?
We're going to go talk about the darkness. You're going to talk about the darkness now.
Well, I had to talk about how I became the light.
That's the only thing that can scare out the darkness.
Without question.
Right?
Yes.
It's crazy. It all comes full circle. Right?
Full circle.
So, 100 AWOLs across the country.
Yes.
What else?
The online training. The online training is, the sky's the limit with that. You get 1,000 people at $75 a month. That's $75,000 a month. So, it's like to get 1,000 people on the internet. I got like 24,000 people now on Instagram. So I just need 1,000. I need 1,000 of them to get $75,000 a month. And it's like, so I got the model now. It's just about discipline and consistency and building the platforms and all that different type of stuff. And we got all that stuff. We just gotta, stick and stay. That's all. And I've been doing that. So all I gotta do is when I make my mind up, it's on. It's on. I already made my mind up. But now it's just time.
So we haven't touched on this, and I know this will strike a chord for you. What are you most grateful for right now?
I'm most grateful for my health. Without my health, then I wouldn't be the best husband that I am right now, the best father that I could be. I'm most grateful for my wife for seeing me as the man that I could be. Wow. And so that's true vision. Vision is a function of the heart, and sight is a function of the eyes. My wife did not see me with her eyes, she saw me with her heart. Wow. You understand what I'm saying? And that allowed me to grow into who I needed to be for her and for my family now. I'm most grateful for my first biological daughter, which, we just had her December 20th. My wife has one fallopian tube, and I'm 44 and she's 43, and we brought a baby into this world to just, to seal off our legacy and our union, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm most grateful to God for, giving me a second chance, because, just being out there in the streets and doing those things that I was once doing, guys like me don't get too many second chances. So, like I said, you discover that you got a call on your life and you've been spared, then you got to do the obligation, responsibility to keep moving forward with, what the Creator called you to do. You know what I'm saying?
Some people just throw that away. That opportunity, that calling. They hear it, but they don't hear it, right? They don't move on it.
You know what? I think it's because a lot of us don't know how to operate in our gift.
Okay.
And let me break that down for you real quick. So your gift is the thing that you do the absolute best with the least amount of effort. And I've cultivated gifts. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm faithful over one gift, he allows me to see another gift. You understand what I'm saying? So I had a gift to help people transform their bodies, right? Through fitness and stuff like that. And I kept being faithful over that. So he told me to speak to them. He was like, yo, these people, they have problems. They're stressed out. You can't get them to do all the burpees that you want them to do if they're thinking about the dude that just got caught cheating on them. You understand what I'm saying? So now I start to speak life into them. So when you understand what I'm saying? And then when I was being faithful over speaking, he increased the platform into the books and all those different type of things. Like, yo, the things that you're saying, look, this is what he's saying. The things that you're saying to the people, they can't take all that stuff away and home with them. They're only going to remember a little bit of it. You need to put it down somewhere they can go back to it. Somewhere where it's going to be around forever. And then you see those periods, you go on Amazon, and you see I got like 8 things up there, like books and cards and all that different type of stuff. It's there. The intellectual property is always going to be there. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, stuff like that just keeps spilling out of me. And I got to create a comprehensive step-by-step method so that people understand. I got to make it elementary because I'm called to talk to a group of people who won't get it traditionally. You understand what I'm saying? So when I come through as an unconventional speaker and a non-traditional type of word, people are like, yo, that's different. You know what I'm saying? And that's the truth. And they understand it because the truth don't need no support. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't need a choir behind me. I don't need a robe. I don't need a collar, but they be like, my man is preaching and teaching. You understand what I'm saying?
Man, I could go for hours, bro.
Word.
But just leave me with this one last question.
Okay.
You give it straight to him right there. What's the one thing you want them to take away from our conversation today?
You are where you are at any given time because it's divine timing. There's no accidents in life. You hear what I said? It's always a part of your personal growth and evolution. So no matter if you find yourself in the dark, no matter if you find yourself in a high spot, in a low spot, if you find yourself in a breakup, you find yourself getting a promotion, yo, listen, it's something for you to learn there. You hear what I said? Be there, stay there, be present, be in the present because it is a gift. It is your gift from God. That's why it's called the present. But look, what you do with that gift, you hear what I said? What you do with your present time is your gift back to God. Huh? Be there.
Coach Lynch, it's been great, bro. I appreciate this. This was amazing.
We dream catchers, man. That's what we do.
No chasing.
No, let me tell you something. We gotta chase. We gotta chase because look, the cats like us, we go out there, we go get that dream, and then guess what? We get another one right after we catch that joint.
Catch and release.
And then that's it. And we go again. And we go again. And we go again. That's what it's about. Catching, man.
Yeah. So, I was going to cut it
I'm
off.
a dream killer, too.
You got to.
I just put a video up. I asked people, I said, yo, how many of y'all are dream killers? Yo, listen to what I'm telling you, yo. It's going to be mad cats out there that's trying to do fitness. It's going to be mad cats out there trying to get the contract. It's going to be mad cats out there trying to speak. It's going to be mad cats trying to do podcasts. But when they go up against me and they got to pick one, right? I got to kill this motherfucker's dream, dog. If not, mine's going to be killed. I'm going to be somewhere crying like, yo, they picked him. Yo, why they ain't choose me? This, that, and the third. Nah, I got to be willing to go so hard that mine's need to be realized before everybody else. And I don't give a damn about nobody else's dream if they stand in the way of mine. So if it's up to, look, if they only picking 2 people for the promotion, it's 2 people up for the promotion. Only one of y'all can get the position. I got to go in there so hard that they don't even consider you no more. You hear what I'm saying?
I forgot all about you.
Word. That's right. So I just killed his chances of him seeing his dream on this one. He got to get the next time this position get open. That means when I go for another one, he can get this one. So until I get done with this one, he can't have his dream. You understand what I'm saying? I'm a dream killer, man. I'm telling you, I'm going to kill something. Something got to die for something to live. I'm going to say that again. Something got to die for something to live. And if you ain't willing to kill something, then I don't know if you're going to see what you're trying to see on the new side. Word. Everything got to die. The old me had to die. I wouldn't be doing this podcast if the old me was still living. he had to die. And if I'm willing to kill me, the flesh got to die daily, right? That's the word. The flesh got to die daily. No, I'm going to cuss in one sentence. I'm going to drop a verb, a verse in the next sentence. The flesh got to die daily. So if you ain't willing to kill the old you every single day, then you're going to wake up with some of them old habits. You're going to wake up with some of them old temptations. You're going to wake up with some of them old desires. And that same thing can have you backslide, have me back in the cell, have me back over the stove cooking crack and shit like that. Nah, I ain't going back. So he got to die. I can't be tempted about somebody calling me like, yo, I give you 2 points if you just make a phone call. Nah, I don't want 2 points. I'm going to gradually get my 2 points from Amazon. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'll move this detox I got over there. You know what I mean? Like, it got to work, man. It's got to work, man.
So you don't even notice. So you talked about that waking hour. Waking, I think it's a little bit wider, depending on what time you get up. So I've been meditating. I've been doing my reading. I've been doing my journaling. We talked. What I add into it?
Affirmations.
I added in your affirmation.
Yeah, man.
That 9-minute one?
Yeah, no
on
doubt.
YouTube?
Yeah.
Every morning.
Word.
Every morning. It even changed part of my journal because like I got my goals and right above my goals, I talk about what I am, what I embody. And it's just like, you didn't even know that, but
yeah, I appreciate it. That blessed me right there. That blessed me. Hey man, that blessed me right there.
And this was dope, bro. Yeah, this guy touched the people in so many different ways, man. I appreciate you opening up the space, taking that first one, face to face. This is just, it's a match made in heaven right here, bro.
It's for all the dream catchers.
We out.
Thank you for joining the tribe today. We would love to hear from you. Please don't forget to rate, like, and share. Perhaps someone you know could benefit from what we've discussed. Until the next time, remember that your dreams should be real.